You know, you talk to yourself 50,000 times a day. And if you talk to yourself negatively, you affect yourself negatively. If you talk to yourself positively, then you affect yourself positively. And this is science, this is proven science. Professor Roger Sperry, who got the Nobel Prize, right, for dividing the right brain and the left brain, he proved that negative thoughts attract negative thoughts. That leads to negative action and that leads to negative reaction. One of the most positive things that you can possibly do, and of course the other thing is that positive thoughts attract positive thoughts, right? But one of the most things that you can be aware of yourself at any time is negativeness. If there's any negativeness going on in your mind about anything, nip it in the bud straight away. Right? Stop it. Change it. Because it will affect the outcome, it will affect you. It will affect you and therefore the outcome, right? So just remember that. That's just one thing. If you take that one thing away from here, that'll be good. Because negativeness is something that I'm sure that guy went into some form of negativeness when he hit that brick wall. Thank you. I know we could share lots more, but we won't. We'll keep on going. All right. Time, yeah. I want to quickly tell you about some of my background. After the army, and I had a couple of kids, and young Andrew, my 17-year-old son, he had asthma right from the age of 2. You know, he'd been all the right doctors and all of this. He'd get worse and worse and worse and worse, and then he collapsed one day, you know. And when he collapsed, he's in hospital. He's on cortisone drip. He's already on cortisone tablets, right? So he knew that was a real problem. So as soon as he woke up out of his unconsciousness and realised he was on the cortisone drip, he took the drip out of his arm and checked out of the hospital. Just walked out. But then he collapsed again. Another cortisone drip, right? And in another hospital. And I didn't know this until next morning. And I said, mate, you know, what we've got to do is something different about this. You've been to all the white doctors, let's go and see a different doctor. So here's this doctor, Dr. Carly Alessandro, who started to talk to Andrew about the subconscious mind. Now, I'd never heard about the subconscious mind, right? He's talking about the subconscious mind of Andrew. And as a result of that, he teaches Andrew how to relax and release stress. So, and you can do it very quickly. Learn to relax and release stress in an instant. He taught Andrew that in between bouts of asthma, he relaxes and talks to himself positively, telling himself that he can breathe. Same sort of thing. He says, because you see, if you start to panic, then the bronchial tubes constrict, and then you can't breathe again. So what he was able to do, within a couple of weeks of getting out of hospital and seeing this guy, was get through most of his asthmatic attacks. Now, I'm not saying he cured asthma, but he handled his own attacks. Then he broke his leg. He was on a motorbike argument with a bus, and I tell you, the professor at the hospital was going to cut his legs off. And I said, hang on a minute, don't do anything yet. Let me go and get Carly Alessandro. And I said, can you help him? Can you help him? He said, yeah, sure. He said, I can teach him more about the subconscious mind. He said, he said he'll be able to work with pain release and healings, back to MacGregor stuff, you see. And as a result, he said, I think the professor will reduce the dose of cortisone and he'll have a go at the operation. Because see, what cortisone does is impede the growth of bone marrow. So the leg will never heal. That was the problem, right? That's exactly what happened. Andrew saved his leg, doing exactly that. I had to take notice of this. I'm this left brain, analytical, prove it to me. I'm a civil engineer and a skeptical guy, you know, and said, okay, Andrew, this is so good, teach me, you know. And so he taught me, or he tried to teach me, and I applied it to weight release. In 6 months, I took off about 23 kilos, 22 kilos, right? But no dieting, no exercise. I was just wanting to do it with the mind. And then ultimately it is eating less. Ultimately it is eating less, but you do it with the, you can do it with the mind and you do it with the meditation. But then at that stage, what I could do was, when I practiced this, I could bring down my pulse rate, right, so that the doctor couldn't even feel it, the pulse strength. I could bring down my blood pressure by 20 points, just in front of the doctor, right, on instruments. Wow, this is powerful, you know. And so I started learning all about it. I went to every seminar I could about subconscious mind and read every book and read all this stuff, you know. And I'm talking quite a while ago, and then my 3 daughters were murdered, right? And I had Jenny and Kirsty, who were twins at 19, and Lexi, she was 16 the next day. And, you know, how do you handle that, right? How did I handle it? It was really, it was a challenge. I mean, I went through hatred and anger and revenge and why me and, you know, all of that sort of stuff, right? I went through all that. I mean, you go through the normal grief process, right? There's no doubt about that. But then ultimately, right, I was meditating one morning and I got this message in meditation, in the middle of meditation, said, hey, if you persist about being angry and hateful and revengeful, you're going to end up like that. In other words, if I kept on talking to myself negatively about hatred and anger and revenge, then I'm going to do that 50,000 times a day we talk to ourselves. But I thought, no, God, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be another victim. Why let that guy win again? So I got some assistants who worked through this, and what I did was I actually worked through acceptance and letting go, and meditation, unconditional love. I never even knew the meaning of it, unconditional love, and then forgiveness, right? And that was what I went through. And it took a while, but I went through, right? All that, and I thought, as a result of all of this being so available to us, to everybody, then really it's almost my duty to start teaching it. So in 1988, 1989, I started teaching about it, and I've done thousands of seminars, and teach about this business. And I just want to highlight some of the science in this, because really and truly it's worthwhile finding out about it. For instance, the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. Have you ever had a falling dream? Falling, right? Now, is your heart beating faster when you're falling? It is. Is your adrenaline running? And when you wake up, can you sometimes be in a hot sweat? All true, isn't it? But the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality because it's not true, is it? Right? So it doesn't know. What does that lead to? It means that if you use the subconscious mind, you can pretend. Back to Doug Sanderson. He was pretending, wasn't he? He was imagining and picturing that he was on top of the ground. You can pretend. And then they get to imagining and picturing. You know, how do you do visualization inside your mind? Sometimes you do visualization in your mind, right, by seeing pictures, hearing sounds, the 5 senses, see, feel, smell, hear, taste. But what if you don't do any visualization with the 5 senses, with any of the 5 senses? What if you don't do that? Then there are 2 other ways. And everybody can do this. Talk to yourself positively, because who's listening when you talk to yourself? And the other one is imagine. Exactly. Imagine. Imagine and talk to yourself. You see, there are 7 ways of doing visualization. So, I've talked about positive self-talk. What's the job of the subconscious mind? The job of the subconscious mind is to keep you where you are now. You see, the subconscious mind, in the subconscious mind is all our memory, all our habits, all our personality, and all our self-image. All of it is in the subconscious mind. Well, your subconscious mind, it wants the habits that it's already got. Remember that. Its job is to keep you where you are now. And it does that with self-talk. If you've got a habit, you know you don't even want this habit, but yet you keep on doing it. How come? Because that's the job of the subconscious mind, to keep you there. And it does it really well, unfortunately. But can you change that habit? Absolutely. Can you change claustrophobia to not having claustrophobia? Absolutely. You can do that. You can do it, but you must do it with a conscious mind. And the best way to do it is within meditation. So these are deliberate ways that you can work with things like letting go of anger. You can let go of hatred. You can do what I was doing before with acceptance and love and forgiveness. These are all habits that you can change. You can work with healing inside the body. Now, has this all been proven? Absolutely. I recommend a book to you. Besides my books, of course, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Dr. Joe Dispenza, he wrote a book called Evolve Your Brain. And it's one of the best books that is out there. And even finding out about what Joe Dispenza did, he broke his back in 9 places. They told him he'd be crippled and all of this sort of thing, never walk again. He did it. And then he became a neuroscientist and found out how to do it. He's just a fantastic guy. The subconscious mind. Have you heard of the use of the subconscious mind in sport? It's in everyday language now. You know, all of the stuff that I've been talking about right now is taught at the Institute of Sports. It should be taught to everybody. You can apply it in schools, in work, and from 6 years old upwards. I've done 6-year-old, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, 15, and then adult seminars. All sorts of things. You can use it. It's fantastic. That's basically what I wanted to say, and I have to finish off now because Anne is looking at me very, very and I know it's time. Right? I've enjoyed doing what I've been doing, and I'm going into my 75th year, and I enjoy it. Normally my face doesn't look like this. What happened? I got sad. She didn't think I'd make it today because on Wednesday we were playing bridge, and my eye, I couldn't see out of my right eye. But I got a beehive and I did a stupid thing, right? I went up to it when there was no bee suit on and all this sort of thing, and 6 bees attacked me. Right? I had bees here, 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 and here. And when it goes up to here, it comes down the eye, closes it up, comes down the face, and then it ends up, it's out here at the moment, right? But it'll end up here tomorrow, and then I'll look like a turkey, and then it'll go after that. Anyway, thanks guys, and if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but that depends upon Anne.
Yeah, firstly, thank you very much, Sandy.